On Sunday, August 29th, prolific actor and legendary Hollywood icon Ed Asner passed away at age 91. He's survived by his son Charles, whom he shared with Carol Jean Vogelman, as well as his children Matthew, Liza, and Kate, whom he had with his ex-wife Nancy Sykes. Asner is a 7-time Emmy Award winner and perhaps best known for playing Lou Grant on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was an incredibly accomplished and reliable actor throughout his career right up until his death. Whenever he could, Asner felt called to bring politics into his work as an actor. Sometimes this would alienate him from his colleagues, but it didn't silence him. Let's take a look back at his life and career to not just mourn his death, but to celebrate his life and all he managed to accomplish while he was with us. Ed Asner's early years. Ed, whose birth name was Yitzhak Edward Asner, was born November 15, 1929, in Kansas City, Missouri. His parents were Ashkenazi Jewish immigrants. His mother, Lizzie, was a housewife from Russia, and his father, Morris David Asner, who hailed from Lithuania, was the owner of a second-hand shop and junkyard. Asner attended Wyandotte High School in Kansas City, Kansas. After graduating, he enrolled at the University of Chicago, where he studied journalism. After one of his professors informed him there was very little money to be made in that career path, he switched to studying drama. Asner made his debut as an actor portraying the martyr Thomas Becket in a campus production of T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral. Eventually, he dropped out of school and started working as a taxi driver. Later, he worked on the assembly line at General Motors while picking up other odd jobs on the side. In 1951, Asner was drafted into the U.S. military. He served with the U.S. Army Signal Corps from 1951 to 53 while finding time to appear in plays that toured Army bases around Europe. After he was discharged from the military, he found his way back to Chicago. While there, he helped found the Playwrights Theater Club with his fellow up-and-coming actors Bernard Salins, David Shepard, and Paul Sills. Salins and Sills, with the help of Howard Alk, would later found the legendary Chicago Improv Comedy Club, Second City. In 1955, Asner left Chicago for New York, when the Playwrights Theater Club changed its name to the Compass Players and began performing improvisational theater, which he had very little interest in taking part in. Once in New York, he began performing in off-Broadway productions. Most notably, he played Peachum, the boss of the beggars, in Bertolt Brecht's The Threepenny Opera, which ran from 1955 to 61. He left the Big Apple behind in 61 and relocated to L.A., where he started acting on TV. He appeared on numerous television programs throughout the 60s. These included roles in series like Naked City, The Untouchables, The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, and Slattery's People. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. And stick around to see what political and humanitarian causes Ed Asner spent much of his time fighting for. Asner's breakout role and ensuing fame. Asner scored his big break in 1970 when he was cast as Lou Grant in the sitcom The Mary Tyler Moore Show. On that program, Asner performed with an ensemble cast that included the likes of stars like Betty White, Gavin MacLeod, Ted Knight, Cloris Leachman, and Valerie Harper. Asner's character Lou Grant was the headstrong but lovable boss of a local TV news station where Mary Richards, played by the one and only Mary Tyler Moore, worked. Asner's signature husky voice and stocky build made him the perfect casting choice to portray his character. He won 3 Emmy Awards for his performances. Lou Grant was in fact such a popular character that when the Mary Tyler Moore Show ended in 1977, he was given his very own eponymous spin-off series, which ran from 1977 to 82. Lou Grant was a bit of a departure from the Mary Tyler Moore Show as it moved away from comedy, taking a more dramatic tone. Asner won an additional 2 Emmys for his role in that series. From Roots to the President of the Screen Actors Guild. In 1977, Asner was given the role of Thomas Davies, a slave ship captain on the groundbreaking miniseries Roots, which was based on Alex Haley's 1976 novel Roots, the Saga of an American Family. Asner's Thomas Davies was a sympathetic white character who was meant to soften the viewing experience for the hard-hitting miniseries. He won another Emmy for his performance. In 1981, he was elected president of the Screen Actors Guild. He used that position, which he held for 4 years, as a way to better express his political views. Perhaps his biggest agenda point was fighting to minimize the U.S. government's involvement in Central America. Taking this position didn't exactly earn him many allies, and it's well documented how his activism put him at odds with fellow SAG member Charlton Heston. Asner's political activism incidentally coincided with the cancellation of Lou Grant. While the network denied the accusation, Asner believed it was his political beliefs that led to CBS's axing of that series. Asner was a 9/11 truther. After the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, Asner voiced support for some 9/11-related conspiracy theories. In 2004, he signed a joint statement released by the conspiracy theorist organization 9/11 Truth, which included a call for a new investigation into various elements of the attacks that he took issue with. He reaffirmed his support for the statement in 2009, the same year he narrated the documentary film The Oil Factor Behind the War on Terror. In 2011, Asner hosted the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth documentary, which focused on the collapse of the World Trade Center Building 7. In that film, he argued for the controversial fringe theory that the building was brought down by some kind of controlled demolition. The post-Lou Grant era. Even though the TV program he headlined came to a conclusion, Asner's TV and movie offers didn't slow down. Throughout the 80s, he appeared in 8 made-for-TV movies and was given the starring role in 2 series, Off the Rock from 1984 to 85 and The Bronx Zoo, a primetime drama that ran from 87 to 88. In the 90s, Asner performed in numerous films and TV shows. Most notably, he portrayed a retired race car driver in the TV series Thunder Alley from 94 to 95. He also worked as a voice actor for shows like Captain Planet and the Planeteers, Batman the Animated Series, and Gargoyles, just to name a few. Following the dawn of the new millennium, he continued to appear in TV shows and films. Some of his most notable credits were 2006's Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, 2019's Dead to Me, and 2003's Elf, in which he portrayed Santa Claus. In 2009, he provided the voice for Carl Fredricksen, the lead character in Disney Pixar's Academy Award-winning animated film Up. Asner holds the record for being the man who's amassed the most primetime Emmys for acting, with 7. Overall, he's tied for second with actresses Allison Janney, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and his former co-star Mary Tyler Moore. The only person who's won more primetime Emmy awards for acting than he has is Cloris Leachman. Ed Asner's activism. While Asner's primary passion in life was acting, he was also very much a humanitarian. He believed in justice, egalitarianism, and equal opportunity. Throughout his life, he joined forces with several nonprofit organizations to try to make the world a better place. He was on the entertainment board of directors for the Survivor Mitzvah Project, a nonprofit dedicated to providing direct aid to elderly and impoverished survivors of the Holocaust in Eastern Europe. He was also a member of the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, a free speech organization committed to protecting comic book creators and retailers from prosecutions based on content. He was also an advisor for the Rosenberg Fund for Children, a nonprofit founded by the children of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, which provides benefits for the children of political activists. He also sat on the board of the wildlife conservation organization Defenders of Wildlife. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of Ed Asner's TV shows did you enjoy the most? And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.